Hello, friends. Have you ever wondered what might happen if something the size of a multi-story building came from space and exploded above our heads? Imagine morning, taiga, and suddenly the sky tears apart with a blinding flash, louder than 1,000 thunderstorms. Now think, what if I told you this has already happened, but scientists still argue about what it actually was? And why, at the explosion site, capable of destroying an entire metropolis, not a single fragment of a cosmic body was found? Today we're embarking on a journey through one of the 20th century's most fascinating mysteries, the Tunguska phenomenon, an event that revolutionized scientists' understanding of cosmic threats and generated dozens of incredible theories, from Tesla's secret weapon to the crash of an alien spacecraft. Get ready to learn about strange eyewitness accounts, unexplained anomalies, and why some trees at the explosion's epicenter remained standing while everything around was knocked down. And yes, at the end, I'll tell you which theory is considered most likely today, but still doesn't explain a whole range of peculiarities of this phenomenon. On the morning of June 30th, 1908, something happened that we still cannot fully explain. And who knows? Perhaps something similar could happen again. Let's figure it out together. It all began at 7 o'clock in the morning, when local residents of eastern Siberia observed a blindingly bright object in the sky. It moved across the firmament, leaving a fiery trail behind. What happened next forever changed this remote corner of the planet. Above the uninhabited taiga thundered an explosion of incredible power, so strong that it was registered by seismic stations around the world. The shock waves circled the planet twice, and the glowing sky was observed even in Europe. But what's astonishing, despite such colossal explosion power, not a single person died. If this had happened over a major city, the consequences would have been catastrophic. Imagine, the energy of the explosion exceeded the power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima by 2,000 times. It's as if several dozen nuclear warheads simultaneously exploded in the air. The first researchers reached the site only years after the explosion, and what they saw only deepened the mystery. In an area of more than 2,000 square kilometers, the forest was knocked down in a radial direction, from center to periphery. Trees lay with their tops outward, like matches scattered by a giant hand. But in the very center, the eye of the storm, some trees remained standing, although stripped of branches. How is this possible? And most importantly, researchers found neither a crater nor any fragments of a cosmic body. Nothing, as if something huge simply exploded in the air without reaching the ground. But what was it? A meteorite? A comet? Or something completely different? Let's examine the main theories and the oddities that still baffle scientists. Let's start with the classic explanation, the meteorite theory. According to it, a stone body, an asteroid about 60 meters in diameter, entered Earth's atmosphere. Moving at a speed of about 30 kilometers per second, it experienced colossal pressure and heating, leading to its destruction in the atmosphere at a height of 5 to 10 kilometers. This version well explains the absence of a crater and fragments. The asteroid simply evaporated in the air. Something similar, by the way, happened on a smaller scale in 2013 over Chelyabinsk, when a meteorite exploded in the atmosphere without reaching the ground. But there's a problem. Numerous witnesses described the object as guided, changing its direction of movement. How could a meteorite change trajectory? And why did some eyewitnesses claim they saw not one, but several objects? Moreover, if it was a stone asteroid, why were absolutely no fragments found? Then perhaps it was a comet. This theory was long considered the most likely. Comets consist predominantly of ice and frozen gases mixed with dust. Upon entering the atmosphere, such a body should completely evaporate, leaving no fragments. But there are oddities here too. In 1909, a year after the Tunguska explosion, unusual silvery clouds and bright twilights were observed in the night sky. Some scientists connect this with dust from the comet that remained in the upper atmosphere. But why were these phenomena observed only in certain regions, not worldwide, as should have been the case? And these aren't all the oddities. After Leonid Kulik's expeditions in the 1930s, scientists discovered that trees in the explosion area grew faster than usual. The radiation background was also slightly elevated. How could a comet cause such effects? Could it really have been something more exotic? It's precisely these unexplained details that spawned numerous alternative hypotheses, from scientifically based to completely fantastic. Let's look at some of them. One of the most intriguing scientific hypotheses suggests that the Tunguska body was a fragment of antimatter. When contacting ordinary matter, antimatter annihilates, transforming into pure energy. Even a tiny amount of antimatter could cause an explosion of enormous power. This hypothesis elegantly explains the absence of material remains, but it has a serious drawback. Where could antimatter come from in our solar system? And why didn't it annihilate earlier, upon contact with the solar wind or upper atmosphere layers? An even more exotic theory suggests that a small black hole exploded over the taiga. Such a microscopic black holes could theoretically have formed in the early universe. Passing through Earth, such a black hole could cause an explosion due to heating the matter around it. But this theory doesn't withstand criticism either. If a microscopic black hole had indeed passed through Earth, it should have caused not one, but two explosions, upon entry and exit. But there's no evidence of a second explosion. What about man-made versions? Here, researchers' imagination is truly boundless. Some suggest the Tunguska explosion was the result of Nikola Tesla's experiments with wireless energy transmission. According to this version, the brilliant inventor was trying to prove the possibility of transmitting energy over long distances and accidentally caused a catastrophe. Tesla was indeed working on a world system project for wireless energy transmission, and in theory could direct a powerful electrical discharge to any point on the planet. But there's no documentary evidence that he conducted such experiments in 1908. Besides, physicists note that even all the electrical power of that time was insufficient to create an explosion of such force. And of course, one can't help mentioning the most popular version in mass culture, the crash of an alien spacecraft. This hypothesis is especially beloved by science fiction writers and filmmakers. According to their version, an alien spacecraft crashed over Tunguska, possibly with a nuclear or other advanced power plant. In favor of this theory, they cite strange testimonies of the Evenki, indigenous inhabitants of those places. They told of iron birds and fiery chariots in the sky before the catastrophe. Some even claim to have seen a strange being near the explosion site. But let's be objective. These stories were recorded decades after the event and could well have acquired mythological details. Besides, if an alien spacecraft had really crashed over the taiga, why were absolutely no technological artifacts found? Modern science leans toward a compromise version. The Tunguska body was most likely a stone asteroid or the core of a small comet that exploded in the atmosphere. Such explosions are called bolide explosions or airbursts. In 2013, we witnessed a similar phenomenon, the Chelyabinsk meteorite. Then, a celestial body about 20 meters in diameter entered the atmosphere and exploded at a height of about 25 kilometers. The explosion was 30 times weaker than Tunguska, but it still broke windows in buildings and led to injuries of more than 1,000 people. But even this most likely version doesn't explain all the Tunguska phenomenon's mysteries. For example, why was an abnormally high level of rare earth elements found in the soil at the explosion site? Where did the magnetic spherules found in the peat come from? And why did some trees in the epicenter remain standing? In 2017, Italian researchers put forward a new hypothesis. Analyzing wood from the Tunguska explosion area, they found traces of an unusual microelement, iron-56. This isotope is often formed during thermonuclear processes inside stars and in supernova explosions. Scientists suggested that the Tunguska body could have been a fragment of an iron star or a so-called quark nugget. Theoretically, such objects can exist in the universe, and possess incredible density at small sizes. There are other modern theories. For example, Russian physicist Andrei Olkovatov suggests that the Tunguska explosion could have been caused by a release of natural gas from the Earth's depths. The region does indeed have gas-bearing rocks, and theoretically, a powerful methane release, igniting in the atmosphere, could cause similar effects. But this theory doesn't explain all the observed phenomena either, especially the sky glow over Europe in the following nights. Interestingly, the Tunguska phenomenon is not the only such event in history. In 1178, a similar phenomenon was observed in Japan, a bright object in the sky and a subsequent powerful explosion. On a February night in 1947, the Sikotealen meteorite fell in Primorie, one of the largest iron meteorites of the 20th century. But unlike the Tunguska body, it reached Earth's surface and left numerous fragments. And in 1930, a mysterious explosion very similar to Tunguska occurred in the Amazon River basin. Local residents observed a fireball in the sky and heard a series of powerful explosions. Trees in the jungle were knocked down over an area of several hundred square kilometers. This case is called the Brazilian Tunguska meteorite, and it too is full of mysteries. The Tunguska phenomenon has enormous significance for science, and not just as a fascinating puzzle. This event made scientists seriously think about cosmic threats to our planet. If the Tunguska body had fallen not in the uninhabited taiga, but, say, on Moscow or Paris, the consequences would have been catastrophic. Today, astronomers carefully track potentially dangerous objects that might collide with Earth. Early warning systems are being created, and methods for protecting the planet from asteroid threats are being developed. Recently, NASA even tested a system for changing an asteroid's trajectory through directed collision. But what if tomorrow we encounter something similar to the Tunguska body? Will we be able to detect it in advance? After all, it was relatively small and moved at enormous speed. Modern telescopes might miss such an object, especially if it approaches from the sun's direction. And this brings us to an important conclusion. We still don't understand cosmic threats well enough. The Tunguska phenomenon shows that nature can present us with surprises that don't fit into existing theories. Perhaps we should be prepared that not all phenomena can be explained from the standpoint of modern science. So, what actually happened over the Siberian taiga that summer morning in 1908? Was it a meteorite, a comet, or something stranger? The most probable version today is considered to be a stone asteroid or small comet that exploded in the atmosphere. But many details of this mysterious event still haven't received a convincing explanation. And perhaps in these unexplained details lies the key to understanding not only the Tunguska phenomenon, but also other cosmic mysteries we have yet to solve. Friends, I hope this journey into the world of one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century was fascinating for you. What do you think? Which theory of the Tunguska phenomenon's origin seems most convincing to you? Perhaps you have your own assumptions? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it. This really helps the channel grow. Subscribe and hit the bell to not miss our next episodes about the amazing mysteries of our planet and cosmos. Even better, share this video with friends who are interested in science and unexplained phenomena. Next time, we'll explore another mysterious anomaly that has baffled scientists from around the world for more than half a century. It's connected with water, strange glows, and unexplained disappearances. But more about that in the next episode. Take care of yourselves and remember, the truth is somewhere nearby. You just need to look at the world around us more carefully. Until next time.